getting this information about my mom, and like it's just like a whole different perspective on things. So I was just walking my yard and thinking about how, you know, I have that, I have that, you know, or have in the past had that wounded warrior, that wound, you know, what am I trying to say? So your family members will like, they'll play a role to do something for you to keep you actually on your path. And it might feel like it's keeping you off your path, but it's keeping you on your path. So for example, like in my story, um, my mom is a very go with the flow person. She doesn't really want to put a lot of effort into anything. She just wants things to be simple and easy, and that's fine, um, and that's nice. You know, I need a balance, but anyhow, because of my experiences in childhood and my programming, I'm very busy, very go, 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 and I'm not always paying attention to if where I'm going is, you know, where I really need to be and where I really want to be. And so I would pile things on and pile things on. And I think my mom would show up in my life, and the points in my life where I really needed to stop the go, go, go and to slow down, or, you know, just to be distracted from what I'm doing so that I then turn and go do something else. So, yeah, so I was just pondering that. And then, like, you know, when I was really weighed down, when I had 2 senior dogs and I was still working a full-time job as a business tax accountant from home, but and I also was having health issues, so I was learning how to cook healthy, and I was learning like all that. I was doing all that stuff at once, and then we also had a music store we were trying to open so that I could leave the business accounting and do this, because my husband has the skills with the musical instruments and the knowledge of them, and so we opened the music store, and it's just, you know, trying to run a business. I mean, he ran that thing by himself. I just did the back end, the accounting stuff, legal stuff, you know, marketing, whatever. But, you know, he ran the whole store, and so he'd come home pooped, you know. And it's like I ran him into the ground too, and we were just struggling. And, you know, it was great. COVID was great for us because he was able to come home and, you know, help me with the dogs and the cats and the, you know, cleaning and cooking and whatever. But anyway, the point is she was here during that time when I had, you know, 1 senior dog. It was very challenging, and then another one not too long after that because they were the same age. So like I think I got like a year break before I was back to being a senior dog caregiver again, and trying to figure out their health issues and what they can eat, and, you know, getting them exercise every day, and, you know, all that on top of everything else that I just described. And it was just my breaking point. It was like, oh my gosh, something's got to give. So I wasn't getting rid of my dogs. I was, I don't know, I wasn't ready to give up the music store yet because I thought that was what was going to take me on to the next thing. And I wasn't going to let go of that. And so I just started letting go of my tax work. And it was a lot easier than I thought it would be. And I still was able to, you know, earn an income while dealing with all this stuff. But it was still busy. It was still hard. And then when we closed the music store, like, that's just great. It's like we're back to being able to be a team together, doing things that we can do together. But during that time when it was really challenging and I didn't know how to make it any easier, my mom was here and she would help me out with, you know, help me cook meals and help clean and that sort of thing. Watch my dog if I went up to the music store. And then, but she also did a lot of stuff in the yard. Like, you can't really tell, but she made this fire pit. That's probably tall. But just this little seating, hangout area in the woods. And, you know, she made some trails. And, you know, she just really worked in the yard a lot, which she needed too, because she lived in a high-rise apartment. So it was really great. It was a win-win. She could come here and get some healing energy. So, but she has since moved away and, you know, left me all this beautiful stuff that, you know, when she was here, let's get me choked up. When she was here, we could spend time together and sit by the fire and talk, you know, after the dog was put to sleep, you know, fed and put to sleep, and I was fed and everything was taken care of. I got to spend that time with her. And so I'll always cherish that time that we spent. And I still have memories of it, even though she doesn't live that far, but it's just a few hours, but I don't get to see her whenever I want anymore. So I get to sit in this space and I don't know, I get so emotional. Maybe other people are missing their moms right now or something, um, but I'm grateful that I got to have that time with her, and I'm grateful that I still get to spend time with her because she's got all this stuff set up, so we can hang out and we can drum and we can sing and you know and have fun and relax because that's what her purpose is to show me how to relax. My dad's purpose was to show me how to work. So I've been doing it his way most of my life. Yeah, until the past few years, I've been refocusing and doing it more her way and being in the flow of things and allowing the feminine to drive. My husband's masculine can drive. We don't need two masculine energies, do we? We need both. We both need to balance our masculine and our feminine, and we all do. And that will bring an easier life because we can use the appropriate traits at the appropriate time. If we're in our feminine energy, we can go with the flow and know what to use when. So, anyhow, I just wanted to log in that perspective of how my parents or any family member or friend plays a role in your life. And, sometimes those things can be like they seem negative, like in a distracting way. Maybe relationship issues because you haven't resolved your generational patterns yet and you're still acting without conscious thinking and you're reacting the way you were taught and believing things that you were thought to believe. And when you do that, like that takes work to like work through having a relationship with someone is how you grow because you learn their perspective or you learn their way of doing things or whatnot. But when you've got these trauma patterns and you got to get through that before you can really get to even the better things about enjoying each other's company. Because if you can deprogram yourself from these unhealthy patterns and ways of communicating and behaving and all around fears of being seen and heard and all that, but when you work through all those patterns and you're conscious about it and you start changing them, your family members can only change too or else fall away. But there's definitely some friction during that period of time. But as long as you're compassionate and stay in your heart space, they will meet you there. And, we've done a lot of that generational healing in my family. And I'm really grateful for that. And we'll always be working through that because there's a lot of it. And our relationships are so much better for it. So really, feeling like it's taking you off your path to deal with this drama, it's really putting you on your path because your path is here to come and to heal those generational patterns. So it's kind of funny. You think you're being distracted by your, toxic family members, not paying attention to your own toxicities. That just adds fuel to the fire, of course. But I lost my train of thought again. Crap. I don't know, look at these cats. They're all just hanging out. Yeah, anyways, the thing about, dealing with that toxicity is getting you on your path so you can get the patterns recognized, even see what's even going on, start changing your behavior, watching their behavior change, or leave and come back. However, that process is. It's a long, long process. But once you get through that, then you understand each other better and everybody knows where they're coming from and everybody can speak how they feel when they feel it and without being judged or, attacked back. And that, when you can get to that place, like that's where the true healing really begins. And that's when you can really enjoy each other, because then you understand each other and you can benefit from each other's differences. And every person has something unique, so every single person on this planet has something to share with you. Even the animals, every single one of my cats has something special to share with me, and that goes for everybody. So the way we can live in peace is by healing our reactive wounds, our reactive wounding, and pay attention to our patterns and things that we allow in our lives, and just people-pleasing behaviors, or flying off the handle, and not just paying attention to what your anger is telling you, and to take the appropriate action. And it's not always easy. It's not easy to walk away from family. It's not easy, if that's what you have to do. It's not easy to have to constantly stand up for yourself. You get broke down and wore down pretty quick, but that's just step away, and then you'll end up coming back to it. So you'll keep being put on that path until you clear it. And when you clear that path, oh my gosh, like the sky's the limit now. Now you have better perspectives on everything in life and why everything happens to you, and paying attention to, like, hey, maybe this seems like a bad thing, but it's actually a good thing. Oh, this like relationship's ending, that sucks. I put a lot of energy into that. Wow, what the heck, so you're looking back there, but then you don't look over here and go, but that relationship ending is putting you onto your path of pursuing your passions that you've been putting off because you've been, dealing with everybody else and not focusing on your own purpose. So your family members can pull you away from a career that you're no longer meant to be in through this drama, and then you learn all of these behavior patterns, and then you find a better and healthier way to live and relate to people, and then new opportunities open up. And now you're free. You're no longer codependent. You're no longer worrying about everybody else and jumping to everybody else's demands. You're starting to pay attention to your passions. And, ooh, I love doing this. Ooh, this feels good when I do that. And then you just keep doing it, and you keep doing it, and you keep keeping your boundaries and paying attention to what you want to do in any given moment in your heart space. And it's hard to say no. It's hard to say no to people that are in tough situations. But if it's a sinking ship, can't help a sinking ship, right? So it's okay that a relationship can end, and now, wow, you're all off into your new career. So old career, family drama leads you to new career. One that you love, one that is, generational wealth, legacy, so you heal the generational patterns, and then you send that legacy down the line. Send it down, generational wealth. Now we'll have generational healing, not generational trauma patterns. That's what I'm here for. So, little advice to help anybody out on that. And I don't know, I hope it helps. It's been pretty mind-blowing. Just my past life, the past especially 6 years. It was hard. It was hard, but I pulled through all that, like, just in the physical and the spiritual. The amount of work I've done is, like, incredible. And, I don't always give myself credit for that. So give yourself credit for all the work that you've done, and, look at all the changes that you've already made in your life, and, stop having the resentment and the, wishing things didn't happen, because, like, you wouldn't be working towards your passions now. Like, what if you were meant to come here to heal those generational patterns? You have to go through them. You have to go through all that shit. You got to go through the lying and the manipulation and the, taking advantage of and giving too much of your energy without paying attention that you didn't have it to give, and, trying to do too much for someone else and not letting them learn on their own. We got to learn on our own. What the hell? All that stuff. You had to go through all that to heal it. So now the whole ancestral line is cheering because they're healed, because whatever they said or did to their kid or their grandkid, whatever toxic patterns they perpetuated, like, that's healed now. If that's healed now, all your ancestors can truly rest in peace, because they know now that they don't have to wish they ever changed it. They don't have to be hard on themselves, saying, look what I did. Like, oh my gosh, I couldn't stop this pattern, and just continued on and snowball and snowball and snowball. And now, it's all the way down this whole line of people wishing they would have done different. And we're here to do it different now. We're here to heal that. So if we can heal that, all of our ancestors, it won't be all for nothing. They'll be like, they won't have to be like, oh man, look what I did. They can be like, wow, look what I did. All that healing growth that came from that, all that. You gotta go swim and play in the dark, man, to find the light. That's what I do. Yeah, I swim in that shit, man. I swim in it for a bit. I feel it out. I feel that darkness out. And I'm like, what is this telling me? What do I feel like? Why do I feel like this? What is going on? And then those emotions will tell you. They'll tell you what you need to do. It's just, will you do it or not? That's the struggle. That's the resistance. Do you really want to do it or you don't want to do it? I mean, it's hard work. It's hard work, but gosh, it's so rewarding when you do. It's so rewarding because now you can have healthy relationships for the whole rest of your life because now you know how to have them or not have the unhealthy ones. I mean, that's it. That's it. Know your worth. You learn your worth. You figure out your worth through all that. So, I wouldn't change my family members for the world. My mom, my dad, my brother. Man, I mean, that was rough. All four very, very different people. So, it was a very interesting ride, but I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it for nothing. They just showed me how to handle people out in the world, people that don't know you and people that don't love you. Deep down, your family members love you. I don't care how they're acting or what they're saying. They fucking love you. And it hurts them too. But it doesn't have to hurt for long if you just feel it. Just really feel into it. My mom just said 333. Nice. Just feel it. Just feel into it. And find out what your next step is or how to handle that situation, but with love. And how you can not be reactive and how you can pay attention to your own energy inputs and stop expecting others people to be responsible for you, especially if you're not asking. So those are like my little tidbits of advice from my journey. But yeah, your family members are here to help you, believe it or not. Oh, another thing I wanted to say about that was that used to make me so mad was like when your family member gives you advice in dealing with another person, and then at some point you have to use that advice on them. It's like, oh my God, you gave me the advice on how to deal with you. While telling me how to deal with other people, but didn't have that put together, and especially if it's an authority figure, it's hard, the parent-kid thing. When you grow up into an adult, you still think you're the kid, you still think they're the authority figure, and you got to work that out. You got to figure out those dynamics, but you're not the kid anymore. You're yourself, you're a unique person. And just be grateful for the relationships that you do have, even and especially the hard ones, the really hard ones. And just send love and gratitude to that person and pull back all your resentment energy, put it into a big golden sun, purify it and bring it back into your body. And just keep doing that and then sending love. Just send love to your loved ones. And over time, I promise that things will get better. You just got to keep your boundaries and just be kind about it. That's it. Easy peasy. All right. This is long, so I'll let you guys go. Love you.